In this presentation, we're going to talk about the psychological effects of global warming.
Integrants: Giselle Reyes, Johanna Sanchez, Janet Machado, Aida Rico Arango, Janesi Machado, and Miladis Cardenas.
How do people feel about global warming? We are told by scientists and activists if we are to mitigate its worst predicted consequences, we must act decisively and immediately. The science of climate change tells us that global warming is genuinely dangerous and statistically inevitable. It is also immediate. It's happening now. Its effects are evident for many years and will become more severe in the coming decades. Emotions are the prime motivators of action. Without them, we do nothing. In popular discourse, emotions, practically fear, play a prominent role. This presentation considers some of the psychological effects of global warming in people and animals, as well as some studies to demonstrate it. What is global warming? Global warming is the gradual warming of the lower layers of the Earth's atmosphere by increasing the concentration of man-made greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide and to a lesser extent methane. These gases trap infrared radiation, which is the heated radiation that cools the Earth. In order for the Earth to remain at a constant temperature, the Earth must lose as much energy through infrared radiation as it gains from the Sun. This concept is called energy balance. The burning of fossil fuels, mainly petroleum and coal, produce carbon dioxide as one of the byproducts. The 10 warmest years on record have all been since 1990. Globally, 2005 was the hottest year of all. In the United States, 2006 was the warmest year ever. The winter months of December 2006 through February 2007 make up the warmest winter on record. These rising temperatures have been accompanied by many changes. Hurricanes are getting stronger, sea levels are rising, droughts are becoming longer and more intense, mountain glaciers are receding around the world. New evidence shows, for example, a recent study published by the University of Alaska Fairbanks indicates that methane is leaking from the Siberian permafrost at 5 times the predicted levels. Methane is 23 times as potent as greenhouse as carbon dioxide, and there are billions of tons underneath the permafrost. What is the psychological effect? Adjective of pertaining to, dealing with, or affecting the mind. As a function of awareness, feeling, or motivation. Psychological play, psychological effect. The concerns about global warming can lead to pessimistic and aggressive thoughts, an increase in anger, a person's willingness to hurt another, increases in violent crimes. Some experts have drawn a direct correlation between rising temperatures and the increase of aggressive and violent behavior, including violent crime. An example of aggressive violent behavior would be when a group of eco-terrorists nearly destroyed a car dealership in Maryland in 2003 because they blamed cars for emitting toxic gases that lead to global warming. The next example is truly unbelievable. A group of eco-terrorists destroyed a housing complex in San Diego, which was easily worth a whopping $50 million, which was incidentally considered to be too luxurious and energy-consuming that same year. Psychologists say that eco-terrorism might be an extreme display of eco-anxiety, the new buzzword in mental health. Is it possible to suffer from a disorder due to the current stress of the environment? Yes, it's called eco-anxiety. It causes people to feel anxiety, depression, even insomnia, also known as global warming stress syndrome, or GWSS. People sometimes think they have to make a big change in their life, when sometimes it's the little things that might be what matters the most, such as recycling, turning off lights, unplugging electrical items, and carpooling can go a long way. Children can also suffer from anxiety over the planet. Experts suggest getting them involved in recycling programs and planting a garden. Some symptoms of eco-anxiety are panic attacks, loss of appetite, irritability, a buzzing under the skin, an eerie feeling that cells are twitching, a sense of hopelessness, a belief that mankind causes every bad event, excessive hand wringing, frequent bowel movements. Eco-anxiety treatments. For now, the only specific treatment is known as therapy. Although questionable, there is such a profession as an ecotherapist. There is no cure for eco-anxiety, but anxiety of this type is most commonly caused by a misunderstanding of probability. Here's a video explaining eco-anxiety. A serious increase in anxiety. Since April, there has been a 32% increase in cases of GWS in the general public. This rate is almost double what it was last year. It is considered to be a communicable disease. Most of the infected are people with weak minds who are easily influenced. Scientific evidence. What is the evidence for this direct link between hot temperatures and aggressive behavior? Experiments have shown that simply being in a hot room makes people feel angrier than being in a comfortable room. State of mind is altered, aggressive thoughts increase. Other studies have shown. In the 1990s, the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology reported 2 studies that examined the relationship between hotness of the year and the violent crime rates in the United States from 1950 to 1995. One study found that the summer produced more violent crime, murders, assaults, than any other season. If high temperature was the direct cause of this summer effect, then years with more hot days in which the maximum temperature is at least 90 Fahrenheit, would have somewhat larger increase in murder and assaults than years with fewer hot days. This prediction was confirmed by the data. Due to the connection that exists between global warming and the public health, the American Public Health Association is focusing in a new campaign. There is a direct connection between climate change and the health of our nation, says the campaign's new blueprint designed to combat health effects of climate change. Yet, few Americans are aware that of the very real consequences of climate change on the health of our communities, our families, our children. The effects of climate change on the health are expected in all areas of the USA, Midwest and Northwest. Major cities such as New York and Chicago could see temperatures that would mean more heat stress, heat stroke. The poor and the elderly would be especially hit hard. The Northwest, heavy rainfall may lead to flooding, overflow of sewage systems, causing an increase in the spread of disease. To the Southwest, higher temperatures and decreased rain are likely to strain already limited water sources, increasing the likelihood of wildfires and air pollution. In the Great Plains, an increase in temperatures could mean a scorching summers and more mild winters, which would significantly hurt food production. To the Southeast Atlantic and the Gulf Coast, hurricanes and other weather events are expected to last longer and be more intense. That would mean bigger storm surges and more damage to buildings, roads, and contaminated food and water.